Hello everyone, hope everybody's well and safe at home. We are in Brisbane here, also at home, not in completely lockdown, but the government has suggested we stay at home and only leave for absolutely necessary things like going to the groceries and to the doctors. So we have been following those guidelines. But today I want to talk about something that it's probably quite relevant to what's happening right now, which is how much we worry about things and the future, and about things that potentially we can't control. So when I was at home with cancer, I lived very much what we're living right now. I was told that I needed to stay at home because I was getting every coughs and colds from my from being outside and dropping the kids off to school, and by even like the kids coming home and bringing all those germs and viruses at home. So I was advised by my GP to stay at home so I could stay away from any viruses and germs and bacteria, and this is what I did. Being at home by myself, it was quite easy to go down that path of, what if I can't do another treatment because I'm sick again? What if I can't finish the 12 cycles of chemotherapy? What if I die? What if there's so many what ifs that I could have thought about, that is not even a joke. And I think with cancer, I really got a massive lesson around, we cannot control the future. All we can do is our best right now. And for me, there was a hard lesson to learn in the way that I had to learn, but it was definitely a very valuable lesson. I can say that before cancer, I was very inclined to worry about things all the time, and now I feel that quite easily when I go down the path of, what if this happened, if that happens, I stop myself and I remind myself that there is not much point in worrying what's going to happen tomorrow, in a month's time, in a year's time, and so on. So, but I want to talk to you about a story about a lovely friend that I have, which is quite a nice story to kind of tell us, how much we worry about things and how much we let our minds and thoughts take over ourselves. So this friend of mine doesn't have a very good relationship with one of her family members, and she had to get this family member to sign a paper for her. And the family member lives an hour and a half from her, so she had to get in the car and drive an hour and a half to get this person to sign this paper and come back to her house. So she woke up early on that day, and she got herself together mentally to meet with this person, and on the drive to meet this person, she was alone, but her mind was there with her, and her mind started going, what if this person says that, what are you gonna say? What if this person does that, what are you gonna do? What if what about if he says that, what are you gonna do? And that kept going for the whole hour and a half. When she told me this story, we giggled and laughed because we said to ourselves, it wasn't like we were traveling alone. You were traveling with a companion, probably not the best companion, but it was almost like as if she had somebody sitting next to her playing the worst case scenarios. So by the time an hour and a half passed, and she got there, she was so drained and exhausted that all she could do was, hi, sign this paper. The person signed the paper. She picked the paper up, got in her car, and came back home. And this is the definition of how much worry can drain us, can take us down to a route that is not beneficial at all to us. It takes us down to a route that it never really comes to become our reality, because at the end of the day, the person didn't say anything, the person didn't do anything, the person just signed a paper, and she came back home, and that was the end of it. But once we let our minds and our thoughts take control over us, it can be really draining, and it can be really negative, physically and mentally, to ourselves, because all of a sudden we lose control of of our minds, and our minds are playing the games that your mind is never saying to you, hey, it's going to be really nice for you to meet that person, and this person's just going to sign the paper, and you're going to come home and it's going to be fine. Your mind is always playing those negative scenarios that makes you emotionally feel drained and stressed and worry about it. So this is very relevant to what we are experiencing right now, because we are all sitting at home thinking, what's going to happen with our jobs, our mortgage, our lives, our kids, ourselves, our businesses. But nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, and there is nothing we can do apart from living the present moment, focusing on what we're doing right now, and focusing on the today and what we can control. Because there is a world out there of things that we can't control, and worrying about that is pointless, and it takes our energy away instead of filling ourselves with positive energy. And this is what we need right now, to fill ourselves with positive energy. So if you are staying at home, and you can start by observing how your mind and your thoughts take control of yourself, and going down to that negative route, that is not very beneficial to you. By observing what's happening, and by acknowledging that, you can say to your mind, to your thoughts, stop, I am not going to go down that route, because that is not beneficial for me, and I am not going to do that. And it sounds a little bit crazy to think that you can do that you can speak to your mind, but the more you do that exercise, and by observing and acknowledging and saying to your mind, the more you are working on your mind muscle, and that you can take over the control and take over that worry pattern, and the more you can stop yourself going down that route. So if that is your reality, if you are feeling consumed by worry, take the time to observe what's happening inside your mind, and take your time to say to your mind that stop, we don't do that anymore. I am not going to go down the road. I hope this is helpful to you. If you think this is helpful, please give me the thumbs up. I'm a wellness and lifestyle coach, and I help cancer patients transform their lives physically, mentally, and spiritually. So if you are someone who needs help, please reach out. Or if you know anybody that needs help, I would love you to share this video with them as well. Take care, stay home, stay safe, stay well, stay healthy.